Hey everyone, Morgan here with a new segment called Keepin' It Real, where we bring you uplifting, inspiring, and thought-provoking content that impacts our lives, specifically from films. Thanks for tuning in, and let's get started. So recently I watched the DOC documentary. If you don't know, it follows the life of Tracy from the time that he was a child up until present day. From a technical standpoint, it was really well done, from cinematography to editing to the direction of it. Doc even helped produce it himself. I feel like it was put together in a way that even though most people know this story, it's not going to feel like recycled information. Plus, it's so much more than just the history of where he came from, those he influenced, as well as where his career has gone, as much as his journey of self-discovery and healing. Throughout the film, you'll see many influential members of hip-hop who show up to support Doc in his journey, from Dr. Dre to Exhibit, Tone Loc, Jewel, rest in peace, Eminem, Too Short, Ice Cube, and so much more. Now, of course, it does serve as an archive for hip-hop history, from his work with NWA, Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, to mentoring Snoop Dogg, co-founding Death Row Records, and so much more. But it's also a journey of finding himself in the path that he, in the work that he needed to do after his accident, and also in healing not only from the physical trauma of that. Many of the guests continually bring up the reason why they feel like this accident happened to him, and not just in a literal sense, and just based off of Doc's own account of his lifestyle that he was living before the accident. He really could have succumbed to something far worse than just losing his voice, something that wouldn't have been survivable. And it just makes you think, like, all the stuff that we might not have if he hadn't survived the accident and if he hadn't lost his voice. I mean, like, all the work that he did with Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, and just all the producing and the mentoring he did behind the scenes after he was no longer able to rap. And it sounds horrible to think of it like that, but I think for them even it's a way to spin something positive on such a tragic event. Something that I didn't know about Doc is that all the work that he's doing within his community, he's speaking with community members and children as an inspiration and motivational speaker. And I guess you could almost say that, in order for him to find that new voice that he's using now, he had to lose his old one. Now, the documentary itself does center around an experimental surgery that he's considering getting to fix his voice. But there's this one scene that I absolutely loved, where he's speaking with Erykah Badu. And he's so excited about this surgery and the potential that it has to give him a chance to rap again. But there's also this possibility that it won't work, or make it worse. And that's something he's kind of struggling with in terms of making a decision whether he wants to go forward with it. But at one point in that conversation, she just turns to him and says, "I can hear you. With or without the surgery, we can hear you. Your family, I can hear you. Your family, your friends, your voice is not lost. We can still hear you." And those 4 words are just so powerful. And you can see, like, the relief on his face. And it gave me chills. Now, whether you're just watching for the history of it, or maybe to find your own path to healing, there is one important message that I think that most people can take from it, and that is, no matter what challenges you're facing or how deeply, like, discouraging things might seem at the moment, in the end, anything's possible. Now, I would love to hear what some of your favorite documentaries are, or films or shows that you've watched that you feel have made a huge impact on your life. If you've seen the DOC documentary, make sure you leave your comments about what you thought about it below. As always, be sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, make sure you hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Until next time, this is Powaful Impact, keeping it real.